Hello, welcome back to the channel Awesome Learning. Children, we were doing the chapter respiration in plants. Now, today we are going to do the next topic, that is anaerobic respiration. Before explaining anaerobic respiration, let me show you one very important step about glycolysis in the respiration. Children, we have already finished glycolysis, that is EMP pathway, and we found that the product that we were getting after the breakdown of 6 carbon glucose, when 6 carbon glucose got broken down, the product we were getting was 3 carbon pyruvic acid, right? So this is now the incomplete oxidation breakdown, or you can say oxidation. That means it's not completely broken down, right? So now what about this 3 carbon, because it should come to 1 carbon compound, है ना? तभी तो complete breakdown होगा. So now pyruvic acid has to undergo further breakdown. तो उसके लिए we have 3 types of you can say respiration, or the steps that we have to follow. Either pyruvic acid will do lactic acid fermentation, or this pyruvic acid will do alcoholic fermentation, or it will do aerobic respiration, also known as Krebs cycle. Now children, remember this, that all three of them have the same product, you can say raw material. Whether you follow lactic acid fermentation, whether you follow alcoholic fermentation, or you follow aerobic respiration, all of them have same raw material, that is pyruvic acid. So the first step is same in all kinds of respiration. Okay, this first step is same whether if you are doing lactic acid fermentation, then also this first step is same. If you are doing alcoholic fermentation, then also this first step is same. And if you are doing aerobic respiration, then also this step is same. Now let's see one by one. We will start with anaerobic respiration. As the name suggests, anaerobic respiration is a respiration where no oxygen is used. So here it is incomplete oxidation of glucose under anaerobic conditions. Anaerobic means without the presence of oxygen. It mainly occurs in prokaryotes and unicellular eukaryotes, and it is of two types. Anaerobic respiration is of two types. One is alcoholic fermentation and the other one is lactic acid fermentation. Right. Now let's see alcoholic fermentation. The products we will be getting as ethyl alcohol, and here lactic acid fermentation, the products that we will be getting is lactic acid. Okay, so we will see one by one. So the first one is alcoholic fermentation. Now you see the steps here. Glucose. Okay, glucose gets broken down into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This we have already done. Then 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and then we are getting pyruvic acid. So till here we have done in our EMP pathway, which we have already done in the previous videos. Now here pyruvic acid. Now from here, this pyruvic acid formed from the glucose is converted to carbon dioxide and ethanol, because it is alcoholic fermentation. That means alcohol will be formed. So what are the products we are getting? You see, pyruvic acid is getting converted into ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, and carbon dioxide. The enzymes pyruvic acid decarboxylase and alcohol dehydrogenase catalyze these reactions. And this type of reactions are basically seen in yeast. So yeast is an example where alcoholic fermentation occurs. That means yeast is a very good example where respiration will give result into the formation of ethyl alcohol. That is why you see we use yeast for the fermentation of chole bhatures, for the fermentation of dhokla. We also use them for various other you can say beverages, right? Because alcohol is formed, and because of this presence of ethyl alcohol, थोड़ा सा जो खट्टा taste आता है ना, that is because of the ethyl alcohol formation. Okay, now yeast poison themselves to death when the concentration of alcohol reaches 13%. Now this ethyl alcohol should be within a limit. If it increases to more than 13%, then yeast will poison itself and it will die. So you see sugar, that is glucose, when it reaches into the yeast, yeast will convert or break down this into CO2, ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, and energy. And here children, the net ATP production for the fermentation of one glucose molecule is 2. As you see, the net ATP production here is 2. So 4 ATP from glycolysis minus 2 ATP are utilized. So what are we getting? The ultimate result is only 2 ATP. 4 ATP were the products given from the glycolysis. This we have already done in the EMP pathway. If you can go to the video and you can see that. The result of glycolysis was we used to get 4 ATPs. But here we are utilizing 2 ATPs. So what is the ultimate result we are getting in ethyl alcohol fermentation? That is 2 ATP. Right? Next is lactic acid fermentation. Here children, instead of, this is the pathway of lactic acid fermentation, the pyruvic acid will move from this to this portion. Okay, this is same for everyone. This path is same for everyone, but either this will move on to this lactic acid fermentation or pyruvic acid will do the ethyl alcohol fermentation. So this we have already read about in the just now, and now we are going to do the lactic acid fermentation. Here pyruvic acid is converted into lactic acid. Examples are certain bacteria. Even in animals, when oxygen is inadequate during exercise, pyruvic acid in muscles cells is reduced to lactic acid by lactate dehydrogenase. This is the enzyme. Now if suddenly you have started your exercise in gym, or suddenly one fine day you get up and start running, and then you will come and say that I have a lot of cramps all over my body, the body is paining. Now why is body paining? Because suddenly you have asked your body to do lot of exercise, and for that it requires lot of energy. अचानक से lot of energy कहाँ से लाएगी body? तो what it starts doing is it starts anaerobically breaking down of the glucose. anaerobic breakdown करना शुरू कर देती है, क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई नॉर्मली जितनी रोज थी उतनी ही है, लेकिन आपने तो अचानक से डिमांड बढ़ा दी ऑक्सीजन की, तो बॉडी भी क्या करे? वो सोचती है कि मुझे कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, तो ऐसे करते हैं अगर मैं ऑक्सीजन की वेट करूंगी तो फिर मेरा काम पूरा नहीं होगा, तो लेट मी डू इट विदाउट ऑक्सीजन. तो वो विदाउट ऑक्सीजन पायरुविक एसिड ब्रेक डाउन करती है मसल सेल्स में with the help of enzyme lactate dehydrogenase, due to which lactic acids are formed. and जहां जहां lactic acid accumulate होता है वहां वहां cramps पड़ते हैं, दर्द होती है, and it will take some time. So if you drink lot and lots of water, so these acids will be washed out from your body, and within 2 to 3 days you will be into your normal conditions. So here children, the net ATP production for the fermentation of one glucose is again 2. 4 ATP तो glycolysis से मिले ही थे, and 2 यहाँ utilize हो गए. So ultimately the what are we left with? We are left with 2 ATPs. Reducing agent NADH plus H plus is reoxidized. It is again reoxidized to NADP plus in both the types of fermentation. इसमें भी it is reoxidized, and maybe it is reoxidized. How is it reoxidized? Hydrogen ले लो, removal of hydrogen is also oxidation, right? So hydrogen is being removed, and it is again, you can see the arrow, it is reoxidized here also, it is reoxidized here also. In both the cases NADH plus H plus is reoxidized to NAD plus. So this is all about anaerobic respiration, but yes, there are certain drawbacks of fermentation. First one is energy production is very limited. Only we are getting two ATPs. You just see. So less than 7% of energy in glucose is released, and not all is trapped in the high energy bonds of ATP. And hazardous products, क्योंकि acid भी is not good and alcohol is also not good. So these two products are formed which get accumulated into the body and they give very bad results. So this is all about anaerobic fermentation. In the next video we will be doing aerobic respiration.